Hey, what's up you guys, it's Haley here from Should You Buy, and I know it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video, and I'm sorry, but life just kind of got in the way of a lot of things. But today we are back. Yes, I'm hopefully back with the regular schedule of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and if I'm not, then you guys can just yell at me about it. But today I'm actually going to be showing you how to properly use your Miracurl, or a bunch of different brands came out with different ones. There is, I don't know, I will have a list somewhere of the different ones, but they all pretty much work the same. This one is the Miracurl from Babyless or Babyless or whatever you want to pronounce it as. The difference between this one and the other ones that like Sally's makes and the As Seen on TV one is this one is titanium and the other ones are ceramic. So for example, you can have a flat iron like a chi that's made of ceramic. It takes more heat and it does more damage to your hair. And then you have ones that are titanium like this, to where the plates are titanium. They take less heat, so it takes less time to heat up, and it does less damage to your hair. So that's why this one is going to be a little bit more expensive. You can actually find them now pretty inexpensive. I think you can find them sometimes for less than $100. I bought mine when it first came out a couple years ago. It was $250 or $350, I believe. I bought this at, and that's when I worked at a salon. So I got this right when it came out. I was the first one in the salon to have one, and I was super, super excited. But I've been looking through some old YouTube videos of different channels, and I saw that Beauty Break did a video about this, and Bunny did a video about this maybe a little while ago. But in those videos, I feel, not dissing any of them, I love Bunny, I love all the people on Beauty Break, Lily and all them, but I feel like they were a little uneducated about how this works and the do's and don'ts on how to use one of these exactly. I think the only reason I might know is because I worked in a hair salon for so long that I kind of just learned through experience and doing this on my own how to properly use this. So that's actually what I'm going to show you, is how to properly use one of these things. If you guys have been wondering, you know, how to use it, should I buy one? Is it really worth the money to buy one? I love this. It does cut my curling down time a lot, and I feel like I can curl the back of my hair better than with a standard wand or curling iron with one of these, because they're a little bit more automated. But I will show you how to use one of these. First things first, you're going to need a heat mat. This is just a cheapy one from Sally's Beauty Supply. You're going to want to lay this on something because the outside will get hot. It's not going to get scalding hot, but if you do hold on to it, it will burn your hand just like anything else. So you're going to want to set it on a mat. And you're going to want a heat protectant on your hair. You always want to use a heat protectant when you're putting any kind of heat, flat iron, curling iron, wand, just a blow dryer. You're going to want to use a heat protectant. I use the Chi 44 Iron Guard. This works really, really well for my hair. If it doesn't work well for your hair, I would suggest asking your stylist or someone at your local beauty boutique what they suggest you use. Moroccan oil makes one as well, and it works really, really well. And I believe there's somewhat... Okay, so they're different ingredients. So this one, on both of them, the first one is alcohol. On the Moroccan oil, it's alcohol, or the first one is water. On the Moroccan oil, the second ingredient is alcohol dentate, and on here it's sodium sulfate. So they are two different, at least with these two, they are two different formulas. So if one doesn't work, I would suggest the other. Moroccan oil is really, really good for your hair, but I've been wanting to try to use up all my products before I buy another one, so I'm trying to finish off stuff, so I just have a little bit of the Chi Iron Guard here. So we want to blah, 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 blah. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to plug this baby in, and then you're going to hit this one. I just remember when I did my hairbrush video, I had problems with that same cord. So the cord doesn't come unplugged from the wall because it's plugged in behind my shelf here. So you're gonna want to hit this one on the bottom, at least for here. It has 0, 1, and then numerals, or in Roman numerals. I can't talk today. 2 and 3. For me, for my hair, I turn it up to 3. You don't have to, but that's what I turn mine up to. And then next to it is time, pretty much, and how much time you put on it can determine if you want tight or loose curls. Oh, shush. So 0 is going to be the loosest curls. Then they have 8, 10, and 12. So I'm going to put mine on 10, which is going to be pretty goodly tight curls, but they're not going to be spirals like, you know, like ringlets. And then the one up here says A, L, and R, which means alternate left and right. You can tell it if you want your curls to go right or left, or if you want them to be pretty much just randomized. So I'm gonna have mine on R because I just want them all to go the same way. So when this light is flashing, that means it is actually heating up. So we're gonna let it heat up real fast, and then we're gonna prep our hair for this. So the way I prep my hair is I pretty much split it into layers. Then I spray it with our heat protectant, and then I brush it out, making sure the heat protectant does dry. Because if you try to curl or straighten when your heat protectant is still wet, it can actually do more damage to your hair. So you don't have to put on a lot. Just 2 pumps, and then you're gonna want to brush or comb your hair depending on what you want to use. I am using a brush here. And this is still flashing, so we're going to wait for it to stop flashing, and then we will start on this. Alright, so it's probably been about 5 to 10 minutes, and this thing is heated up since it is not blinking anymore. And the one thing I've learned with this machine through the couple years that I've used it is you cannot be in a hurry to do this, or your hair will jam in it, and you cannot put too much hair in it or it will jam. Now, one thing that's really nice is if you do put too much hair in it and the machine catches it, it won't continue to roll into it. It will eject the hair. And I'm not going to show you that because sometimes it doesn't eject the hair. But when you do this, you want to lay your hair out flat and have no more than 1 inch of hair to put in the machine, or the machine considers that too much. So about this much is pretty good. So if you want to use this for big old beach wavy hair, it's not going to really work out for that, and I would suggest using a curling one for that because you can control that a lot more. But what you're going to do is you're going to want to take the open end, which is hot. This is the part that heats up, and you're going to want to put it towards your scalp, and you want to put the device where you want this curl to start. So if you know you're putting your hair up into a ponytail and you just want the curls on the end, you only have to curl the end. But we're going to be curling my entire head, so we want to take our little chunk of hair. We want to put it in here. We're going to bring it all the way up to the scalp, and then we're going to close and watch. See? Okay, so I put too much, and you see how it rejected the hair? That means I put too much. So we're going to actually just cut this bad boy in half, brush it out again, and we're going to try this again. So that's how it rejects, so that was a good thing. So we're going to, see? And it starts to beep. Now when it starts to double beep, that means that they want you to essentially open the thing up because they believe that it is done. Okay, so we want it to open up just because it double beeped, and then instead of pulling down, you want to pull out and let it fall. And you see how it did that curl right there? It's not a ringlet curl, but it is still curly. So we are done right there. So we can pull this section, the other section, do the same thing. And just let it sit there, open, and you want to pull out. Now if you're wanting to essentially make these curls a little bit longer, while the curl is still hot, you can brush it out with your fingers and it will loosen the curl up. If you just want to brush your hair but you don't want to lose the shape of the curl, you want to make sure to wait till your hair is completely cooled down before you actually do that, or you will lose the shape of the curl. So as you can see, we've done 2 curls right here. It was super, super easy to do. Alright, so I have done half of my hair. This took probably about 10 to 15 minutes to do just this half, which actually, or just the second layer of this half, which to me isn't that long to do something like this for me, because I have a lot of hair. If you guys have not watched any of my other hair tutorials or whatever, I have a lot of hair. So I'm going to be doing this other half real fast, and then we'll be doing the final layer of my head, and then we'll go over the pros and cons of this thing as well, because there is some pros and there is some cons to this thing, and we'll be going over those here shortly. So I believe I have finished and I've gotten all of the things in my hair. I might have missed a couple spots underneath because I did do bigger layers than I usually do. But what I like to do when I curl my hair like this, since I have so much hair, it gets in my face, and I hate it when hair is in my face. So I just take like a little headband like this, put it over, you know, like you do. hairband face. Okay, and then for me, this is always a little harder when I curl my hair because it's, for some weird reason, it seems thicker when I curl my hair. Like my hair gets thicker, but I like just to pull that back, right, and just pull this forward. This is just not working out today. So overall, this took me probably about an hour to do, which is not too bad for me to do this. An hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes for as much hair as I do. Let's start off on the bad note. The one thing is that you do not have a lot of curling options with this thing. Now what I mean a lot is starting from big old waves going down to ringlets. You don't have that option, but you can make your waves or your curls that you do in here, you can make them go beach if you just brush it out when they're still hot, if you don't mind doing that. And you can control it somewhat. You do have pretty much 4 different options of curling: 0, 8, 10, and 12, which 12 is like a ringlet and 0 is more of like a beachy wave. You do have that option, and of course the less you have on there, the less time it's going to take. Mine today was set on 10, so it wasn't set on the curliest, but it wasn't set on the waviest either. One thing I do like is you can also control the temperature somewhat on this thing. You just have 0, 1, 2, and 3. 0 is obviously off, and 3 I believe is 400 degrees. Mine was on 3 today because I always straighten and curl my hair with 400 degrees. I know people aren't really supposed to do that, but I did that anyways. Another bad thing about this is your hair can get stuck in here, and like I said before, if the machine knows that it's too much hair, it will reject it, and when it does, just stay calm. It's gonna be okay. You just want to pull out. You don't want to pull down. That's what a lot of people do, is they pull down, and it kind of it can make it worse than what it actually is. You always want to pull out, because that's how this works, is you hold your hair like this when you put it in, and it works, you know, horizontally. It doesn't work vertically. You don't go like this when you put it in, you go like this. So you always want to pull out, pull gentle. If it does get it to where like you can't get it out, I mean, that can happen. I've had that happen to me a couple times where I was like stuck. I pretty much had to unplug the device, let it cool down even though your hair is still in it, and then I sprayed some conditioning spray in it, and Joy has a really good one, or a detangler in it, just to kind of loosen up your hair inside of it. You could put straight water in there, I guess, if you really want to, but don't put too much. And then I just slowly got my hair out, brushed my hair out, and it was perfectly fine. If that does happen, make sure to turn off your device and unplug it, because you will burn your hair off. If it is used improperly, you will burn your hair off, and you will not have a fun time. If it does come to worse, you can cut it out. Of course, that is not what most people want to do, but you can cut it out. So let's talk about some pros. I do like the different heat adjustments. I do like how you can set left or right curls, or you can do alternate. I've never seen anybody with alternate curls that actually looked good. It just looked weird. And you can set the curl size if you're wanting to. One thing I also liked about this is once you get the hair in there, then you can just do something else with your other hands. You can text on your phone or something, and you don't have to have 2 hands like you need with a curling wand, where you have your wand and you have one hand holding it. Once it's in there and it's heating up and it's doing its thing, you don't need to use your other hand. You can do whatever you want with it. So that's something that I really like about this. I like how it's really small and sleek. It doesn't get too hot on the outside. Now, of course, it does get hot, just like with the brushes, the heating brushes. It does get hot, but if like your younger brother or sister does grab it, they won't get 3rd-degree burns like they will with a wand or with a flat iron. It does get hot, but it doesn't get extremely hot. So if you were to grab it, you know, you would know to let go. It doesn't get that hot to me. I mean, of course, you do need to always put it on a heat mat to use it, but yeah. I just really like mine. I've never been a wand person, and wands just never worked out for me. It's probably just a me thing, but I was never able to use wands curling my hair, and I don't curl my hair very often just because it takes forever to do, and I really have not points. I don't usually go out where I need to have my hair curled, and if I'm gonna do my hair, I usually straighten it anyways, because I like it straight better than curly, because my hair is always kind of curly. But yeah, this product, it works really well. I've had mine for 2+ years, and this thing is still going strong. I've moved a couple times with it. I've actually moved 2 times with it. I brought it to Vegas with me. I didn't use it, but I brought it to Vegas with me, and yeah, I like this. I will have a link down below to, of course, the one that I have, and then the other ones. There's an As Seen on TV one, Sally's made their own, etc. But yeah, so that's how to properly use your Miracurl. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave those down below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, join the savings army, never pay retail again. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!